Yup, Finland has done it again and topped the list of the happiest countries for the 4th year in a row. But what exactly adds up to the happiest place on Earth outside of a Disney theme park? Sami is such a colorful language spoken by Finland, and we love the sayings the Finnish use. So if it sounds like we're talking in gibberish, check out the meaning in the comments section. While you're there, give us a like and share your thoughts on happiness. We're looking at 15 reasons Finland is the happiest country. Number 1. Firstly, what kind of happy are we talking about? How is all this happiness scored? Finnish people aren't walking around chuckling like jovial Santa Claus all year round. In fact, a lot of people find them more on the stoic side. The World Happiness Report is sponsored by the UN and conducted by polling company Gallup. The study interviews over 350,000 people from 95 countries using a 10-point scale to assess people's own happiness. They ask questions like, did you learn or do something interesting yesterday? And were you treated with respect yesterday? Shun Wang, professor of the KDI School of Public Policy and Management in South Korea and one of the authors of the report, explains this method. We believe that these subjects or self-perceived evaluations are a more reliable way to tell how good life is. They then take into account factors like life expectancy, freedom to make life choices, GDP, generosity, social support from friends, and perceived corruption. Number 2. Finland minds the gap. The widening wage inequality gap is one of the leading reasons for unhappiness in many countries. Finland has fought against this type of inequality since Vuonna Nakia Musi. It has always been a priority for the country. One example is the baby box. Since 1938, every child born in Finland has been set up with items their parents will need for their first few weeks and months of the baby's life. This is a cardboard box that doubles as a baby's first crib, filled with everything from thermometers to baby grows, even condoms and lube to help new parents get back on the pony. And if parents are already set up with what they need, they can opt for €175 instead. Finland ensures that no matter how much money you have in the bank, your basic quality of life needs are taken care of from the start. Number 3. Home of the free. The Finnish seem to have an inherent understanding of freedom. It underpins their mindset that freedom and independence is only possible if everyone enjoys freedom and independence. So they allow people to get on with their lives without a ton of interference. It seems so simple, and I guess it actually is. Ironically, freedom is complicated by so many governments. The Finnish understanding drives all policymaking in the country and leads to this happy nation. If you think you can guess who gets the unhappiest country title, well, stick around to see if you're right. Number 4. Housing first. Finland has a non-traditional approach to a traditional problem, homelessness. They're successful at keeping homelessness down with their novel Housing First principle. This means that anyone who finds themselves homeless is given the right support. After that, they're assisted in owning their own home. And this is a proven good solution because homelessness is on a steady decline in this happy place. Number 5. They trust the police. In a 2018 study, results showed that 80% of Finnish people trust the police. This sense of trusting the keepers of the peace leads to a higher sense of security. We've got a great listen available for free through Audible and Alux called The Finnish Way: Finding Courage, Wellness, and Happiness Through the Power of Sisu by Katja Pantsar. It will really dig deep into the happiness of this peaceful country. You can get your free listen by going to Alux.com/free book. Number 6. Economy is positive. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy a lot of things that help. Although a small country, Finland is a world leader in technology, ICT, paper and pulp industries. Nokia, Polar, Sunto, and Kone are all some names you'll recognize. Then there's Rovio, the people who brought us Angry Birds, and Supercell, the creators of Clash of the Clans. Now, as the Finnish say, let's take a donkey's bridge over to the next point. Number 7. They promote the flat working model. Within these successful Finnish companies, you won't find the usual corporate structures you might be used to. Finland employs a flat working model in their business operations. This includes few or no hierarchical levels between management and staff. As a result, there's less supervision, and this promotes more involvement and decision-making, open communication between teams and departments, and faster workflow. Probably because everyone's got their cow in the ditch. Number 8. Remote or flexi working is old news in Finland. Finland didn't need a pandemic to see the usual 9-to-5 workdays didn't have a lot of merit. Most Finnish companies offer their workforce the option to flexible hours and low constraints on how, where, or when the work is done. They rather focus on team cohesion and productivity in an agile working environment. This has been done in full swing for over a decade, and homma hanskassa. Number 9. Gender equality means happiness all around. Finland addresses gender equality head-on. For many years, they've been committed to closing the gender pay gap and access to high-quality education across the gender landscape. This doesn't only reflect in rights for women, but also for men. Finland is the only country in the world where fathers spend more time with school-aged children than mothers. This is because maternity and paternity leave are treated equally, so parenting is more culturally shared from the start. Number 10. Forget the Joneses. The Finnish won't have black socks about what someone else owns. They aren't suckered into the culture of comparing wealth and a need to keep up with the Joneses. They have a more egalitarian culture. Antti Koponen, a philosophy professor at the University of Helsinki, explains that people often do pretty well in social comparison. This starts from education. Everybody has access to good education. Income and wealth differences are relatively small. Number 11. Finnish have realistic expectations. Sure, Finland enjoys Eurovision and playing the lottery as much as the next EU country, but they don't have all their happiness hung on the big time. They have very down-to-earth expectations of their life and find happiness in where they are in life. As if you need more proof than being happy with a cardboard box for a baby crib to show the levels on levels of humility that this nation has. And here's more. If something does go surprisingly well, Finnish people have a naturally humble approach to handling the situation. They will generally keep their added happiness a secret or turn to a self-deprecating joke instead of bragging about their success. Number 12. Free education with no testing. College debt and healthcare are two of the biggest points of unhappiness in the US. Finland has removed these hurdles for their people. The country offers free schooling, and what's more astonishing is that they very rarely test children, and their education system is ranked one of the best in the world. University is also free, so not only does everyone get an equal footing getting through school, but they're also able to start their careers with zero debt. For most of us, that's enough to smile about, but not too soon, because in Finland, a popular saying goes, Itku pitkästä, ilosta, or happiness will always end in tears. This doesn't really scream optimism, but in some ways it has a sensibleness to it we can all appreciate. It means that great joy or happiness is bound to end in sorrow, or good things won't last forever. That's a pretty somber thought, but it also proposes that great sorrow won't last forever either. And it's not untrue. Your mother probably said something similar when you were giddy with excitement jumping on the couch. It's all fun and games until someone loses an eye. Sound familiar? Number 14. Free universal healthcare. While no one's walking around grinning like a pervert about free healthcare, you have to admit that the thought of it all brings a huge sense of relief. When healthcare is taken care of, you can get on with living, and the Finnish can do just that because everyone gets standardized free healthcare. Now, Alexers, if you're loving our videos on different countries, remember to go back and check out our ones on Ghana, Nigeria, and Kenya. Number 15. Finland has Sisu. Sisu is the underpinning philosophy of Finnish life. There's no English word that directly equates to Sisu, so no one outside of the language will truly understand, but the closest translation is thought to be stoic perseverance. This breeds a personal strength of will that is seen in the steadfast diligence and humility that Finnish people go about their life affairs with. So, adopting a Sisu mindset might be a good move for future billionaires like you. Alright, what do you think is most important to a country's overall happiness? Please join the conversation in the comments. And of course, you stuck with us until the end. Your bonus. Who took the cake for the most unhappiest country? Sadly, it's Afghanistan. All the unhappiest countries had high scores in terms of poverty, war, political instability, and violence. So it's no wonder that in recent years, Afghanistan has continued to rise until reaching first place in 2021. That's a wrap, Aluxers. We hope we've provided you with some wonderful information about a great country. We'd appreciate your likes, and in return, we promise to release another great video tomorrow.